was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me.
Welcome in, folks. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast. My name is Steve. Over to the upper left is our friend Soul Gravy. It's his show. We're just taking up space. And tonight, got a treat for you. Our friend Summer Dean is here. Welcome in, Summer. Good to see you.
Hello.
How you been?
You know, a lot of times they say we got a treat for you. I'm like, so who's not a treat? Like you're like, oh, we're not excited about this one, everybody. You know,
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll work on that.
That Adam Hood guy, jeez.
Right.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Nobody likes that guy.
Yeah, we should just sit down. He's not really good at this, you know.
Right. All right, Summer. So here's the deal. I'm pretty sure most of the folks that are on YouTube and Instagram tonight, I don't think we're on X or Twitter, but we are on Facebook and TikTok. So we're making strides here. Appreciate y'all being here. I'm sure most of them are familiar with you, but for maybe that one or two folks that are out there that don't know your backstory, do you mind just taking a couple minutes and giving us a little backstory?
Yeah, I'm a Pisces. I'm a sixth generation Texan, and there's not much older than that. I mean, if you're more Texan than that, then you're probably Mexican. And I mean, geographically, you know. So
is that the new song?
Yeah, more Texas than you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm stealing that. That's great
Not
TikTok content.
I think
I'm writing that down. Like literally, look at me. I'm writing that down.
Tag me.
Can't wait.
More Texas than you. Oh my gosh, that's great. Anyway, yes, I am. I was a school teacher for a while, and I've been in this job for a minute, being a full-time musician, but I decided to really saddle up about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've put out several albums, and I just put out a new single last week that's doing great, and I love traditional country and keep it there, and I write a lot of my own songs. Yet I love to cover music. That's a tradition in country music anyway. So, but mainly a songwriter, and my shows are full of fans to make my hair blow and a ton of jokes. It's fun. It's fun.
Very cool. First of all, folks, if you ever get to a Summer Dean concert and you can't have a good time, you're the one that has the
dude. Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
And go take a walk, dude.
That's the best way I can explain it. So
cool.
Well,
that's nice.
Summer, we're going to ask you to bear with us for a second. This is the part of the show where I get to quiz Soul Gravy on famous folks from where you're from. So I will actually, yeah. Okay. You can just watch along or whatever. Feel free to chime in whenever you want. Okay. But from what I understand, been in Fort Worth for a little while. Originally from Clay County, is that right?
Yeah, Clay County and Jack County. I've been in Fort Worth for 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Jacksboro and Henrietta. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, then I did my research on this. So I'm going to name the famous people, and Soul Gravy has to tell us why they're famous. All right. So for those of you that aren't familiar with that geographic territory, I would say it's far north central Texas. For example, Clay County, I believe, borders Oklahoma and is separated by the Red River. That would make sense. Yeah. Okay. So that's the geographic area that we're talking about. North of Dallas, about an hour or so. Dallas-Fort Worth
great.
area.
I know everybody there, so come on.
Yeah, northwest of there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Soul Gravy. Who is Charlene Arthur?
I'm unfamiliar with her work.
Tonight's going to be a little bit tougher, Soul Gravy. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, Fort Worth was just too easy. You would know a bunch of them. So Charlene Arthur was a rockabilly singer. Was discovered by Colonel Parker.
Okay.
Had a nice career. So shout out to Charlene. Tex Ricard.
No, not familiar. I don't think so.
All these folks are from Clay County, Texas.
Okay.
He was a boxing promoter you know, whatever. Like, that's not that big a deal, but whatever. He did found the New York Rangers NHL hockey team.
Ooh, I didn't know.
Okay.
I don't
that's
know any of this.
kind of wild, right?
In New York,
Yeah,
and his name was Tex.
yeah. And
Okay.
he's from Clay County, Texas.
Shout out Tex then.
Yep. All right. Chuck Stewart.
No, I don't think I'm familiar with his work either.
All right, Chuck.
Okay.
Very famous photographer. If you've ever seen a picture of Louis Armstrong, Coltrane, Miles Davis, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, you've seen one of his pictures.
Okay.
He made his whole career taking pictures of those famous folks. So shout out to Chuck. Got a couple more for you. Charles Greminger.
No.
It's a little bit tougher one. He was a defensive back for the Packers and the Rams.
I was going to start just saying rodeo people, just in case, but then you said that last name, and I'm like, no, that's not.
Doesn't sound. Yeah,
no,
Charles is
doesn't
not a
sound like
super rodeo name.
No.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, there are no rodeo. Somehow there's no rodeo folks tonight. We missed on that.
Oh, I know some.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us who the famous rodeo folks from where you are.
Well, okay. Have we know Lane Frost, who he was. So his
Absolutely.
buddies were Tuff Hedeman and Cody Lambert, and Cody Lambert's from Henrietta.
Okay, nice. Shout out
Yeah.
to. If you've
That-
ever
yeah,
seen
he's
8
great,
Seconds, Cody was the one that was driving.
Yeah, I mean he's a rodeo guy too, but when you're with Lane Frost,
Yeah, everybody's in his
you're in
shadow.
the shadow. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
For sure. All right, that's cool. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it when my research gets supplemented on the spot. That's awesome. Newbie O'Brantley. I said that right. The first name was Newbie, Newby.
Okay.
This is going to be a tough one.
I don't know who he is, but is that his actual name or is that a nickname?
That's his actual name, Newbie.
Okay.
Newbie.
All right.
He was an inventor, and I'm just going to list a couple of the things that he invented. He invented the pump jack. Pretty impressive.
Okay.
Especially if you're in Texas. He
Yeah.
invented a women's support device for the upper chest area.
You can't say bra.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Okay, okay. I was like, geez.
he also invented the backhoe for loaders.
Okay.
So kind of wild, right?
He's all over the place.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's an inventor. He's doing his thing. All right, a couple others. Reed Hadley.
I'm not familiar with Reed, I don't think.
Kind of close to rodeo. He was a Western actor.
Okay.
And he was the original Red Rider.
Okay.
For like the old school radio show.
The BB.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that came after, but there was a
Pew Pew.
person called Red. Yeah. Yep.
Understood.
All right, two more. Raymond Harrell. You might get this one.
No, I'm not going to get that one.
Major league pitcher for the Cards, Cubs, Phillies, Pirates, and Giants. And lastly, Riley Matheson.
Don't think so.
All right. This
Boy,
was
I
a
didn't
tough
do good at all.
It was a tough one tonight. He's an offensive lineman who played at the Browns, Rams, Lions, and 49ers. So hopefully you all get to watch the Super Bowl this weekend. Should be fun. Summer, thank you very much for indulging us. The rest of the show is about you.
I didn't know any of that, so that was educational for me.
There we go. All right, so the questions get easier from here. This is the one nobody likes, but it also helps me kind of figure out where to go with the conversation. So it's called the pie question.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a pie. We divide it up into 4 sections. Very simply, all 4 sections have to do with the music business.
Okay.
The first slice of pie is the creation of the song, songwriting. The second slice of the pie is recording. The third slice of the pie is performing. And then the last slice is running your business. Everything that goes into running your business. So
Right.
Songwriting, recording, performing, and then the business. Which of those areas do you naturally gravitate towards? Which is like
Performing.
performing. Okay.
First.
How long have you known this?
My whole life.
Like you
my,
knew
my
that
whole
was
life. Yeah, it just becomes very natural, natural to me, and that's the part that doesn't feel the most like less like work. Like
yes.
that doesn't feel like. I mean, some gigs, TBH, are annoying, and I don't want to do them, but that's work.
Right.
But typically, performing is that feels really fun, and it feels natural. So that would be my first one. Yeah.
Okay. And then so if we're gonna walk it down the line, what would
Yeah.
come next in terms of kind of what you
It's a
dig?
really close tie between songwriting and performing, or songwriting and recording.
Okay.
I've learned in this past couple of months that I really like recording with my stage guys. I didn't realize like what that would change, and that was a whole lot of fun. And but I write a song every week, and I have for over 3 years. So songwriting is a gigantic part of what I do all the time. Again, like everything else, sometimes that feels like a job, and I'm just crapping a song out, and I'll never hear it again. I'll just put it in the deleted folder and whatever.
Right.
And or then sometimes it's I'm like, whoa, I'm going to record that, or you go back to it and you think it's bad, but it's not that bad. So, but of course, like most musicians, last is business. But I still don't think I'm too bad at the business part. I think that's the difference. When you know that when you go somewhere and you're like, God, this artist is so good. How come they're not a big deal? Sometimes that's because they're not having the brain about it, or there's nobody on their team that has a business brain about it. Nobody knows the formula, or we would all be doing it.
Sure, that makes
but
sense.
I think treating your business right is a major part of it.
Okay. You mentioned that you write every week. Is that, do you have an accountability group, or are you just, oh, okay. And so you've been doing that for a while?
Yeah. We take a break around the holiday. We take a break about mid-December to mid-January.
Yeah.
It's just good to reset. It's good to miss it, But yeah, it's been, and a lot of people have been through this group. Gosh, Josh Weathers, Courtney Patton, Jason Eady. There's a lot of people have been through this group, and you get in for a while, you get out for a while. But I'm scared to get out because I don't want to get lazy with my writing. The hard part of the group is you can't co-write in the group. So if you want to work on other things with other people, it has to be in addition to what you're writing that week. And they give you a word. You don't have to use the word. It's just there to help you think.
Kind of get going. Yeah.
Yeah. I typically don't like that. I'd rather just kind of go with what I'm feeling.
Can you explain kind of what that is to folks that that don't know what that
my process?
Not well, as far as the accountability group. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it'd be like a book club or a gym group, where so there's somebody running the group, and on Thursdays they send an email out to the group, and there's 9 or 10 spots in the group and a waiting list to get in. So when somebody gets off, somebody else can get back in, or make your own group or something. But we keep it small. And they send the word out right now. Matt Hillier of 1100 Springs is running it. I ran it last year, and he's running it now.
Nice.
And he sends a word. I don't know where I just made up my words. I just let the universe. I tried to pick a word that had a lot of meanings, that's like steady or sturdy, where people can use it a lot of different ways. But and then you have all week, and you turn in your song by Wednesday at midnight. And you got to type the lyrics out, and you have to some kind of demo, sing it into your phone. It can be really low end, high end. Like fancy demos are not a thing anywhere anymore.
Right.
Demos are always very low key now.
Rough,
so yeah. And that's it. So I just keep them I've got them in my computer, and then I also have them in my voice memo app, which saves to the cloud just in case, So, and then every once in a while I'll go back and try to find something if I'm feeling, or somebody needs a song. And I'm like, I think I have something kind of like that. Let me go back and listen. And so it's just a big pot of songs. you know?
It's
Yep.
just basically to make yourself exercise just like you would a gym group or anything else.
Yeah, and you steal from yourself. Like, I may hate the
Okay.
song, but I love the concept, or I love one line in it. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to make this whole other song. Or reverse. I really like the melody, but the concept's not there, or there's a bunch of filler lines. And so when it's time to record, you go back. And last year we started a thing where right before we took our break, we took a couple of months and we added the option for the week. Instead of writing a new song, you can edit a song that you have, because
Nice.
there's that saying that the real write's in the rewrite.
Right.
And finding what's going to make something better and make something line up is a writing skill that we all need to have as well. So
Another exercise.
yeah. So we did that last year. I loved that because you get all these songs and you get busy and you don't think about them. So it's good to go through them and put an album together.
Come up with one where you have to open up your pot and let someone steal one of yours.
That would be fun to edit somebody else's. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
It's a
Dirty
really
No,
like I don't listen to other people's songs in the group. They may listen to
Understood.
mine, but I don't. I'm just like, nah, I'll just compare myself to them, and that's the thief of joy, right? So
Yes.
I'm just going to listen to my own songs.
Understood.
Yeah.
I see it more like the what is it, Yankee Santa, or what is it called, where you steal the Christmas presents?
Oh,
The like the white elephant and stuff.
Like White Elephant.
okay.
I'm gonna take
I thought
Courtney
that what we
Patton's
call
song.
it's probably racist. What's that?
I said I'm gonna steal Courtney Patton's song.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Right, that would be a lot of fun actually.
Edie has no songs left by the
right.
time this is done.
Of this happened.
Well, if I was going to steal anybody's, hers would be a good one to steal. She's a great writer. I can't sing like her, so it probably wouldn't sound good. But
that's all right.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk, since we're a little bit early, I do want to talk about the new single. I got a bunch of stuff on this one. So my first question is, I heard somebody describe it as a little bit of a deep cut, and it might be a deep cut for somebody that didn't grow up with it, but that song was nominated for a Grammy, which like, I mean, I don't know how high it went on the charts, but it was a big song.
it won the ACM for Country Song of the Year,
Okay.
1980 or 1981, something like that.
I mean, it's one of those when you're on satellite radio. It's pretty regular rotation on those.
Yeah,
on
I think
on those stations.
deep cuts are irrelevant or a relative term.
Yes.
I'm so inside the bottle of country music that I can't read the label anymore. Like, I don't like to listen to the on the nose hits. Like, I can't listen as much as Merle Haggard is my favorite in the whole world. I can't listen to Bottle Let Me Down or Mama Tried. Like, give me a daggum break.
Right.
I got to get way down in there, but that's just our
Understood.
starting point.
Makes
Other
sense.
people's starting point are different. And but yeah, that's one thing we liked about it is the bass player brought it to us. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I love this song, and I knew it. I didn't have to learn it or anything. I knew
Right.
it. And we love playing it. It fits my vibe. It fits my vocal
100%.
tinge. And it's sexy and I like that. And then we liked that for some people, they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's a great song. What a great cover. And some people, some generations will never have heard it. We played it live a lot before we recorded it. And so many people were like, what's that song? Where is it in your Spotify? I'm like, it's a cover.
Not yet.
Bruce Robinson, let me drop that name, but Bruce told me that we were in his office and he said, what's a song that you wish was yours? Like, what's a song you just wish was yours? And we talked for a long time about that. And he said, man, the right cover can do a lot for an artist. And I mean, look at Landslide for the Dixie Chicks, or
Traveling Soldier.
Yeah, Traveling Soldier. And
Speaking of Bruce.
Yeah, who did like everybody does I'm on Fire, the Springsteen,
Springsteen, yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't have a problem with, I do feel a little weird putting out a cover because I work so hard to write songs, but it doesn't matter. It's a good song. The right song wins,
So we didn't mention what song it is.
Oh, yeah, we
Oh.
probably should do that.
Yeah,
There,
you,
you
you
should do
didn't
that,
you didn't tell the name of it or who originally did it. Like y'all know it, but
I'm sorry.
tell the
I'll get
audience what the
lost.
song is.
Yeah,
Talbot.
the name of the song is "Somebody's Knocking," and it was originally done by Terry Gibbs in the early '80s, I believe, or late '70s, early '80s.
Yeah, 1980.
1980. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wonderful tune, but I mean, I love the bass intro on it, and I know why the bass player brought it to you,
Yeah.
or maybe not, but it felt that way.
Probably
But the
has something to do
arrangement,
with it.
everything on it is fantastic. And
Thank you. We
I
did a lot
am
of research. We found some live versions and just kind of made up our own version of it. And I'm glad when people say like, "Oh, I love that song. You did it justice, but it sounds fresh." That's the nice
Yeah.
compliment.
it's a
Yep.
vintage modern, is what it is. It's like that cool vintage modern stuff.
Yeah.
I do want you to tell me about the video because I didn't know that there was a video until I heard somebody tell me that there was a video. But man, I went and
Yeah.
watched it. That looked like that
It's
was
cool.
fun. Yeah.
It was, it's very. I love acting, and I want to get into it. That's a whole other podcast. But like, it does feel strange. That's not acting. That's you're being yourself, but it's not what you do. And but it was a blast. No long in this world, 2025, with all this stuff, no longer is music an invisible art. This is a visible art now. It's no longer just audio. And I've never done a real music video. I never have. And I always needed some and always wanted some. And so I kept it local. That thing came together days before we recorded it. And Tyler Russell with Howdy Films. So how I know him, the guy that directed it and edited it and shot it and produced it, did all the things. How I know him is he made a movie a while back called Texas Cotton, and about a corrupt, I guess, sheriff's department with the cotton farmers in their area. But it's
Okay.
boll weevil. It's all
Yeah.
the whole thing. It's great. It's good. And I was on the soundtrack, and so was Coulter. And actually, we knew each other before that, but that's kind of how we got started, like working together. And so I randomly saw Tyler at a Footwork songwriter thing, and I'm like, you know what? I want to shoot a video, but I need to do it like this month.
Yeah.
And he's like, I bet we can do it. Let me figure it out. And so the cars, we have a 1970 Chevelle.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like this badass truck in there. I can't remember what it is right now. It's in my notes. And like we had a little bit of crew show up. Everything came together like on a Thursday and we recorded on a Saturday.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we just talked about the vibe. I wanted Dallas Dynasty meets Honky Tonk meets Urban Cowboy, but not Sissy and Bud like Pam and Wes.
Oh, like the fancy, yeah.
I wanted the fancy bad boys, and I think we did. I love it. He did a great job. I love that it's provocative and sexy, but there's no like boobies
Over
and
the
butts.
top,
And,
yeah.
yeah. So I love it too, and I hope people watch it.
Well, we will, when this comes out on video, we'll make sure and link it in the comments so everybody can, if you're watching now,
Okay.
bookmark it because it's phenomenal and
Thanks.
it's worth watching. And the song's great too. Obviously, we already talked about that, but
Yeah. My friend Ketch Weaver is in it, and he came together the couple of days before too. I wanted a love interest in it, and I wanted it to be someone I picked. I didn't want it to be some model. I wanted it to be a real somebody I picked. So I called my friend Ketch, and I met Ketch a long time ago. We both were like this not horrible. We were like just a quintessential Texas entertainment for some ladies lunching or something. It was whatever, a long time ago when we were just trying to get gigs,
Right.
And he was trick roping, and he's a pickup man or cowboy and all, cowboy type guy, and taller than me, which is nice. And so he came between rodeos that day and does all this trick roping, and he did great. So
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a perfect guy for that
see
kind of thing. That is a cowboy but no show business. So it's great.
Yep. Well, I feel like there would not be a more appropriate time to play this song since we are at halftime.
Cool.
So if we could, two of us, meaning Summer,
Not me.
you and I, need to go
Got it.
silent. So just hit the
Okay.
little microphone button and we'll get a clean cut of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go. Somebody's knocking. This Summer Dean.
Somebody's knocking, should I let him in? Lord, it's the devil, would you look at him? Well, I've heard about him, but I never dreamed he'd have blue eyes and blue jeans. Well, somebody's whispering, he's talking to me. Your place or my place, well, which will it be? I'm getting weaker, he's coming on strong, and I don't want to go wrong. He must have tapped my telephone line. He must have known I'm spending all of my time alone. He said we'd have one heavenly night. My fever's burning, so we ought to be right at home. Somebody's knocking, should I let him in? Lord, it's the devil, would you look at him? Well, I've heard about him, but I never dreamed he'd have blue eyes and blue jeans. He must have tapped my telephone line. He must have known I'm spending all of my time alone. He said we'd have one heavenly night. My fever's burning, so we ought to be right at home. Must have tapped my telephone line. He must have known I'm spending all of my time alone. He said we'd have one heavenly night. My fever's burning, so we ought to be right at home. Somebody's knocking. Somebody's knocking. Yeah, somebody's knocking. Somebody's knocking.
So I have to say I love the claps. I don't know what instrument that is or whatever, but yeah, I love that part of it. Let's see here. You're both still muted. I got you. I think.
At the shows, we try to do get the audience to do it, but sometimes they just stand there and like, what is she saying? So whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
I should make that a TikTok thing too.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
The claps too, like the clapping on the 1 and the 3, like Isabel's song.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I get dancing around and playing and stuff, and I forget to do them too.
Forget yeah. Talk about the recording of that. Did you say that you did that with your band, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I am very fortunate to have the same players with me for a while. And um, so we recorded it at Wolf Island Studios in Dayton, a farm outside Houston. Kevin Skurla owns it and built it, and it's beautiful. Lots of vintage equipment and stuff like that. And he played everything except for bass and drums. And he played everything else and produced it. He just is. He's just an amazing guy. It sounds so cool what he did. You know, it's so hard to make something vintage and fresh. That is really hard to do. And he nailed it. And it's rock and roll and but still country and it's disco. He just nailed it. It sounds cool. We even played I posted a video of it on my Instagram. We even played a rotary phone. You can't really hear it, but we did it for fun because it was just there.
Yeah, that's cool. Actually authentic.
Yeah. It was there, and it's just cool. You know, when you're doing percussion, you're just like, well, what can I rip on right now? You know, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Well,
It's fun.
we had a question in the TikTok chat. I want to make sure I don't want to forget, and also mention Miss Cat Hunter is the one that's asking that. She's an artist as well. I think she was episode number 2
or 3.
or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. I think she was 3. Either way, Miss Cat Hunter, she's an Alabama lady, and she wanted to know if you could play any new instrument. What would be a new one that you would want to pick up?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to respond to her, but I ran out of characters.
Oh,
You know,
I'm sorry.
no, it's good. Now I can actually say it. You know, this is silly. I play the guitar and I'm fine at it, but I wish I could rip. You know, I wish I could just
We all do.
get up there and rip a solo. You know, unfortunately, I just kind of write songs and strum and you know, I can figure some things out if I need to, but like I wish I could rip. That's one less person to pay in the band, which would be awesome. And then you know, I just feel like a big old badass if I could do that.
And you have a 5-piece too, right?
Well, we're a 4-piece and a 5-piece. It just depends.
I've seen you with 5, so
yeah, right
now
now
5-piece.
Yeah, we go back and forth. Right now, if we're a 4-piece, then Kevin Skurla puts the telly in his lap and plays steel and just goes back and forth.
Yep.
But I'm wanting to add some keys. I'm wanting to make the sound a lot bigger. So we're working on that. It's going to happen all within the next couple of months.
Nice.
Trying some people out, trying some sounds out. You know.
What we had these conversations before we actually really got going, so I'm having trouble remembering it, what we talked about at the beginning and what we talked about before.
When you get old so bad.
Do you mind talking about what you did before you became a full-time songwriter?
Yeah, sure. I'll be 45 this month. I came by all this stuff late in my life, but that's the way it was meant to be. I was a school teacher. I mean, my gosh, I did real estate. I majored in agriculture. I've done all kinds of stuff, but I think my main job before this was an elementary math teacher, and it just got to the point where I couldn't do both anymore. You know, only being able to tour in the summers and stuff like that just wasn't working. And then I would have to take naps under my desk while the kids were at PE, like George Costanza, you know, and I was like, forget it. I'm not going to turn 40 and not like my job. You know, I got off all this medication to try to see if what I didn't like if I just didn't like my job. And that's why I couldn't get myself together. Yeah. And it turns out that's totally, it's totally true. So way happier now. And, you know, my brother told me one thing that helps me make a lot of decisions. There's people in this world that do things and people that don't. So what are you going to be? And I don't have a husband or kids that need me. So it's perfect. And now I don't feel, sometimes I personally worry about, I'm too old for this. Like I'm not going to be taken seriously by the industry because I'm not, you know, a hot 24-year-old in shorts running around. So, but instead I just own it and try to carry myself as a woman among the girls and let that just speak for itself. And it's been fun.
You probably get a lot of praise from the girls in many instances, I'm sure.
It's funny. They're like, I hope I look like you when I'm your age. I'm like, well, just keep drinking at the bar, girl. You'll get there. It's like, I got all this gray hair and, but it just, at this age, I have something to write about. I have something to say. I've got confidence. I've got balls and cojones, so and maybe at 20 something, I wouldn't have. I would have tried to be something I'm not. I would have forced a bunch of stuff that I don't force now. So it was all meant to be. Women my age are the reason we have country music. It's never been for girls.
One more, Tabo.
Yeah, go
have you has any of your former students ever realized what you do now? Have you
Yeah, it's
had
weird. It's so weird.
I bet so.
Yeah, it would come up in the classroom and they'd be like, Miss Dean, is this you? And I'd be like, no, but she looks just like me. That's crazy. She has my same name. What?
What about now? Like after, some years removed from it, after they've gotten a little bit older.
They comment on YouTube and stuff like, that's my math teacher, And one girl was like, she was a horrible teacher. No, I wasn't. You were just, I probably just didn't like you. I'm just kidding. It was fine. It was fine. But I'm still friends with those wonderful ladies that I taught with and stuff like that. It was great. But that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing.
What was your calling? Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know. Hopefully you don't get tired of talking about this, because if you do, then I'm going to have to move to the next question. But Opry debut, like that whole thing, I got to watch that from your socials. Thank you so much for posting all of that. But that was pretty emotional for those of us just watching. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, it was magic. And I've been dreaming about that since I was a little girl. And the fact that we got that. So I guess how the official ball got rolling on it was I was playing a solo show and my booking agent's boss was there catching my solo show. And I used to have this joke in my show that was like, it would say, I would like to announce that I finally booked my first set on the Grand Ole Opry, and everybody would clap. And I'd be like I said, I'd like to announce that. I can't, it's not true, but I would like to announce it. And so he heard that and he just thought, and he told me after the show, he cornered me very seriously and was like, I'm going to get you on the Opry. And he's like, it may take me a while, but you need to be, that's makes sense for you and you need to be there. And I was like, okay. In this industry, so many people are like, oh, I can do this for you. And you're just like, okay.
Yep.
I'll believe it when I see it, whatever, And not that I don't believe him. It's just like, well, okay, we'll see. But he did. My agent would call me all the time and he'd be like, do you want some good news? And I'd say like, yeah, is it the Opry? And he'd be like, no, but it is this. Finally, one morning, he called me earlier than normal. And he said, you want some good news? He's like, yeah, it's at the Opry. And he goes, yup. And I just fell to my knees, drama, started crying. He was crying. I was like, I got to get off the phone. He's like, yeah, get it together and call me back.
Yeah.
I called my mama. She didn't answer. Called my dad. Didn't answer. Finally got a hold of my big brother. And it was just amazing. And I made a huge deal out of it. And then when we stayed in Hank Snow's house the whole time. It's an Airbnb in Nashville. It's so cool. And then when we got there, my hero, Connie Smith, was playing. And so I got to meet my hero and she hugged me and told me, thanks for loving country music. And I just will never be the same. And then they let me bring my whole band. Typically on your debut at the Opry, you get two rooms and two players, or two songs and two players.
Right.
And my band at the time was just a 4-piece, so just one more player. So I emailed her with all that Texas charm and was like, these guys have been with me for almost a decade, and I owe it to them and I ask you one more time if I can bring my band. And she finally said yes. So it was just amazing.
And were you able to bring some folks with you in terms of the actual performance? Yeah.
There were a ton of Texans there. They were so loud. That was probably
shocking.
Yeah, that was probably. I told him, I'm like, y'all know I play in Texas too. Like, I need to sell tickets in Texas.
Right.
But that was probably the most emotional thing about that weekend was how many people spent money and time during Christmas and to go up there and celebrate that I got my dream. Like, that was incredibly humbling, and I am still emotional about that.
Yeah, you'll never.
But we partied after. We partied like Texans too. It was great. I mean, there was even a fight. Like that's how.
Oh,
That's
it
not
was
Texas.
Yeah,
official.
we showed up. We showed up. Yeah, watch out. New Texans are here. And it was great.
Well, congrats. There were
you.
lots of folks who didn't get to make the trip that were also cheering for you from over this way. So yeah,
Well,
super
we're already
excited.
talking with them about going back. So it'll be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
In like today's country music and we've talked about, Nashville has many different layers. Some layers people don't like, other layers, but there's still authenticity somewhere, underneath that fluff. But you see it all over social media. Country music ain't the same. The Opry ain't the same. All this stuff, right? But you talk to artists like you and Edie and Hood and Honeycutt and all these people that I'm trying to tell them that the Opry is not a very big deal,
Right.
because you see them all break down and how special it is and everything else. So for all of the negative parts that that the country music world gets as far as not being country, there's still a whole lot there when it comes to that building, the rhyme, also those two I'm just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. I mean, you can be prestigious and not exclusive. And you can't think about all that. You can't think about all that junk and I don't know. You can't let all that. You can't hate on it. And I'm not going to hate on the Opry. No way. And I don't know one artist even outside of country that doesn't highly respect that stage. And boy, you feel it in there big time. And it's cool. So everybody else can just piss off, whatever.
Well, like you were talking about Connie, and then Edie was surrounded by the Oak Ridge Boys before he went out, and all these different things like that. You know what I mean? I couldn't even imagine.
That burn. We were in our dressing room, and John Conley's walking by in his sweatpants looking for his hairbrush. He's like, he's yelling into the hallway. Does anyone see my hairbrush? And we're just like, was that John Conley?
Common man in a common van. Come on.
That's right.
And it was a Friday night, and he's saying, Friday night blues ain't good in your shoes. And all of us are just, oh,
it sounds just like
amazing.
It always has. Yeah.
I don't know how you held it together.
I didn't.
Well, you did.
Well, I did for the performance,
secret.
but because you really get your jitters out in the rehearsal, and because you rehearse on the stage, and that's where you get your jitters out. But it doesn't matter. You got to go and do your job.
Right.
I wasn't necessarily nervous. I wasn't nervous. Like I didn't have I wasn't scared.
Right.
But side stage before we were going on, I did tell everybody leave me alone.
Right.
Because I just didn't want, people are like, oh my God, here it is. I'm like, no, you can't make me emotional right now.
Stop.
I'm feeling, I need to do a good job, so you can't make me emotional. And so I just made everybody let me stand about 4 feet from them and just don't look at me. But we did cry at sound check. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was so much fun to watch, and I couldn't be happier for you on that.
Thank you.
You bet. I have one more question, and then we will, I don't know what Soul Gravy has left, but we have rapid fire. We have a very important question.
I love rapid fires.
Rapid fires are fun. There's a more important question after the rapid fire. That is also connected to potential sponsorship for us. So we're going to need you to take that serious. And then may have something else, but that being said,
screw it up for you.
No, you're good.
Okay.
The question that I have for you is, what else? What's coming down the road? I know you've got some stuff coming beyond. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
We're sticking around Texas for a while, for almost the whole first quarter of the year. Yeah, I mean, I've got some other stuff around, but we're mainly sticking around Texas. We've got we're just gonna play at home for a while, and we've got some tours later in the year, but we got some calls about some great shows in Texas, so we thought we'd just stick around and play with this kind of fresh sound and dance around with the wind in my hair in Texas. So what a great time to be in Texas too. So yeah, y'all go to my Instagram or website or whatever and show up and get those tickets in advance so that we know, that way we know that you're coming. And we can prepare for you. And so, yeah, if you guys are if you're listening in the Texas area, please come see me and tell me you saw me on here. And I'm not, I'm extremely friendly. Like I don't do meet and greets because I feel like my whole world is like, I'm not exclusive. I'm not like mysterious, you know? So y'all come up and talk to me and see me and let's show people how these Texas shows happen, you know?
Can we talk about that? What you were talking about before the show, as far as why the early ticket sales matter to? Because this is something
it's important.
Well, I'm sure it happens all the time. It's not just for you, but it's not something that I would have thought about as a fan.
Good, yeah.
But makes complete sense, because I've seen those shows that I've like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna go to that show, and then it just disappears. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, and it's since COVID, you know, we have a cancel culture now, right? And so the world has changed. We're all having to relearn things. And no matter how big of an artist you are, how big or venue, or how small or smaller venue, every size of artist is affected by this trend that's happening now of a low pre-sales for shows. So, you know, they pre-sale the shows, or you can just show up and pay at the door, right? But what's happening is, you know, people are planning on coming, just like you're saying, and that's great. We want I want you to come. But what happens if you don't, like, if there's not a lot of pre-sales before a show, then venues get scared and they start scrambling or wanting to cut your money because they think that you're going to, you know, make money, you know, and it's not, I mean, it doesn't happen every, like all the time. But so that's something that fans can do that helps everybody out. The venues, you know, we need you. None of the venues can't be here. The bands can't be here if the fans aren't, right? So one thing that they can do is buy the tickets in advance. And like if you plan on going, then just go ahead and get it. And what's also great, like, is if you buy buy a table, 4 or 5 people in it or something, go ahead and buy the chunk. And then just Venmo back and forth with your friends on the tickets. And because those pre-sales make everybody relax. And there's some venues that will cancel a show if there's not enough pre-sales. And that's just awful, you know? And so
all the way around
for everybody, for the fan, everybody. So that's just a new thing in this new culture that people can do, you know? And if you guys have an idea of an incentive, everybody listening or watching, if you have an idea of an incentive to get people to buy the pre-sales, like, I want to hear it, because, you know, sometimes it's $12 in advance and $15 at the door. And some people don't care. They'd rather pay the $50 anyway. So that's just been a thing that I've noticed. And so I thought, well, they don't, like, fans will do that.
right.
You know, they want their bands and they want their favorite venues to do all right. So we just need to tell them. You know?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's super important. And you know, I also think, along with pre-sales, this kind of ties in, but pre-saves. So you have new music coming out. It's really critical that, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the pre-save link. That does so much in terms of, you know, getting songs to playlists and getting them to the right places and getting them to the right ears. So we don't ask anybody to send us anything for doing the podcast, which would be wild if somebody did. But no, we do ask that you please go and follow the artist who joins us. Find them wherever you stream your music. Go follow them on socials. Once you find them on socials, interact with them. Say hi. A lot of the time, they will actually interact with you because it helps the whole algorithm. So interact with these folks if you could. It would mean the world to us. And I know it would even mean more to the artist. So
something I thought about, a good analogy on that, as far as the pre-save thing, is kind of like it's like revving up the motor before the green flag drops, if that makes sense. If, you know, a lot of people, because that way you've already got some momentum before it's go time. That was just trying
like
to
That's a good one. Well, every deal is different. Like even records, like pre-buying a record, like some labels won't put it out if fans don't pre-sell enough. So like and everybody's just trying to take care of themselves. These venues, the labels, everybody. So it's understandable. But like if we're depending on the fans to do that, then we need to tell them.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of
Yeah.
them would do it if they knew. A lot of them just if you
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
don't know. Mhm.
Right. So,
Ready for a little rapid fire, Summer?
Yes.
All right. Spotify Wrapped came out about 45 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you use Spotify or Apple or whatever, but any idea who was at the top of your list from last year?
Oh, probably myself.
All right.
Because
Stream
it's
Farm.
different for musicians sometimes because especially players because you have to listen to the people that you play with to learn their songs, and so that kind of becomes your top artist.
Yeah.
And
makes
my friends are really sweet, and they set their computers at night playing my songs over and over again just to help me
love 'em.
get straight.
God love 'em.
So I mean that's an honest answer.
Yeah.
Zach Top was up there too.
Oh, shout out to Zach Top. We're working on trying to get Zach. He hasn't answered yet, but we'll see how that goes.
I mean he's not a very big deal. I don't
He's
know
kind
what's
of
the
busy.
problem.
Yeah, that's all right. We actually,
he's
well, I
only
won't
at
get
the top.
Thanks, Dad.
Ah.
All right,
Okay.
you get Desert Island album. So one album that you get to take with you. What album's it going to be?
I mean, today it would be Killing Time, Clint Black. That's been my mood today.
Nice.
But sometimes it's Redheaded Stranger.
Also great.
Okay.
We are pretty familiar with both those albums.
Yeah.
Soul Gravy and I do this other show called Earwax, and Redheaded Stranger, I think, was the first or second one that we did, right? Oh,
Yeah.
There's Killing Time, yeah. Young
Because I've
Clint.
been lazy and didn't put it up. So
Tomorrow that might not be my answer, but
That's
right now
okay.
that's my
That's
answer.
okay.
Yeah.
Also, the studio where Willie, I think it was a couple weeks ago. It's for sale where he recorded Redheaded Stranger. It's over in Garland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so if you got a couple extra bucks laying around, let me know. We'll work on putting something together.
God, no, I'm negative money. I live my whole life negative money. Yeah.
All right. Next question. You get dinner with one historical figure. What are you eating, and who are you having it with?
Dead or alive.
It could be either one. Just somebody historically significant.
I would like, I think that a really nice 3-hour steak dinner with, with like 3 different wines, 5 different courses, finishing with a cigar and a port. And I would like, we have this conversation in the van, but one person I'd probably pick George W. I think
Okay.
he's funny.
Yeah,
I would
he'd be a
love to
ton
talk-
of fun.
My table is Nolan Ryan, George W., Dolly Parton, and Terry Bradshaw.
Oh my God.
I think that would be a very entertaining table.
Is-
my friend
just
Caroline brought the
Dolly
Terry
and Terry
Bradshaw.
would be pretty insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
well-
right. I mean, right. I mean, that would be
It'd be
one
hard to
hell of a,
wrangle
that would be
those
the supper right there. I'd have
It'd be
so
hard
much
to
fun.
wrangle those in for any conversation, though. You just have to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the best answer we've had so far. I know
Oh,
I said
really?
one historical figure, but
Congratulations.
we let you play with that. All right. Well, this kind of goes, I think, maybe hand in hand, possibly. What would you be doing if you weren't playing music?
God, I do think about that sometimes. I would like, if I wasn't playing music, I think I'd be a good TM. I think I'd be a good tour manager
Oh, okay, cool.
for a band. I can back
You want
a
to hold
trailer
people's
like
hand?
No, I want to tell everybody what to do.
Okay.
Okay.
I can back a trailer and pretty good.
course
I'm
you can.
extremely organized. I'm ahead of the game, and I know the system. Like I could TM for a big band probably pretty easily,
Yeah.
and I'd still get to tour, still get to see the world, and I could just wear a t-shirt and jeans every day,
That sounds
you
cool.
know? Yeah, and just like start collecting a ton of tattoos and just with a bunch of keys on my belt
Right.
and just be the one that nobody messes with, you know?
This job's getting better and better by the minute.
Have all
Yeah. I'd like to be a TM for a big
all
old
the
band,
tags on there. Don't
Yeah.
get rid of any of the badges.
Yeah, you keep them all. Yeah.
All right. Next question is, this one, because I've seen you, so I want to know what you see when you play.
You know, a lot of times I look straight at the spotlight.
Oh, okay.
I look straight at the lights and just perform. But then if I'm feeling great, like if it's my show and I'm feeling good, I like to pick out people and sing right to their face and see if they come up to the merch booth later, you know, and be like, I looked at you. Did you know that? I looked at you, you know,
melting your face
yeah.
minutes ago.
I love to do that. And
buy a shirt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not doing it. It's an experiment, you know, and
Yeah.
and I want people to love the show. And it depends. Like if people are dancing, I just kind of watch and judge in my head how they're dancing, and then but I just look straight at the lights or something. But all different things. But I definitely it's about the show. I'm arrows out. I love it.
Absolutely. All right. Ideal green room for you.
I like it when it's a trailer. That's fun. I like a trailer. Ideal green room. Oh, like my rider and stuff.
No. Just like let's say you had a venue.
Oh.
And you wanted to put together kind of a green room that would be good for everybody. What would you choose?
I would like it. I think it'd be cool. We did one. I was playing with Coulter, and I think it was Fort Collins, and the green room was the basement, but they had made it into like a huge hangout. Like there was rock and like deer and pool tables and video games and a record player and a kitchen, and there were each dressing room had their own bathroom.
Oh wow!
And it was very, very fancy, but very, very comfy. Like they had to kick us out after the show because we just wanted to hang down there. Yeah, but it was cool that it was a basement because you could hear everybody's feet above you, which kind of got you ready to pump up and ready to the show. So cool. It'd be comfy and entertainment. You know, we sit on the road a lot and we don't do. So it'd be fun to have things to do. I like it when there's games.
Were you able to use the Coulter wall card? Be like, hey, I don't know if you know who I'm with, but he said we could stick around, or was that an option? Or?
Oh, I don't need it, you know?
Yeah.
No, he uses the Summer Dean card.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
That's a great answer.
No, Coulter's he's a buddy. We even after our song, we don't have a business relationship. We're pals.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Everything we've heard about him is first rate. So
he's funny. Yeah.
Perfect day on the road for you.
Okay, I love a Holiday Inn breakfast. To me, that's one of the better. Comfort Inn's a pretty good breakfast too.
Not bad.
A breakfast with good meat. I hate when they don't have good meat.
The fake
I like
meat.
good meat. Yeah, it's usually watery, floppy sausage, but that's fine. So a good breakfast and a real coffee, and then time to go for a walk or do some movement. So van calls probably at 11, which you have to check out by 11 anyway, you know.
That works.
And then we're only having to drive like 2 hours or 3 hours, so we get to stop for a real lunch and maybe a thrift store or a vintage store, and we find like the perfect hat or shirt or boots or something at thrift that was cheap, and I'm so excited. And I go to the venue and my rider is in the green room and the sound is perfect, and I wear my new outfit that I got thrifting that day.
That does sound like a great.
And it's sold out.
Where was it that you had the sound perfect? Shout out to our sound folks, but
there's good. You know, locally there's good sound at the Kessler and at the Heights. I love that sound. But I know you're being kidding, but that's amazing sound.
It's a tough job, no question.
Yeah.
All right, bucket list venue. I know you've played some awesome venues, but if you had to pick one that maybe you haven't played yet that you would like to play.
I haven't played the Ryman.
Okay.
That would be very, very special. I've never played Canes. I really want to play Canes. I never have. I
Really?
know. Yeah, we try, and we just, I couldn't be a headliner there right now yet.
Maybe.
But I would love to play Canes. I just never have. And I mean, I'm the same as everybody else. Red Rocks and
Yeah.
Ryman, Canes, all the normal ones. But I've been lucky enough to play some pretty cool ones. I would like to be big enough that I could do it I can
Right.
carry the show myself, but I'm just not there yet because I need
Yeah.
fans to pre-buy tickets.
That's right. Pre-save.
Pre-save out,
when they
yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last question I have, and then we'll get to the really important question. Boy, we talked about this a little bit already, but tribute bands, yay or nay?
I think it's fun and great. We talk about, I mean, I think it's awesome. I guess it depends on who they're tributing. No, we talked about that in the van. Our question is, did I already say this? Were we live when we
I
talked
think
about
this
this?
was
I
at
can't
the
remember.
beginning.
Oh, it was?
I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
But just to circle it back, I guess, and it's who would you want to be and who would you be a good one? And I would want to do like old school Reba. That's what I would want to sing every night.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
can't.
cool.
I can't.
Well,
And change
I can't.
dresses too.
But
There's a reason.
but what I would be a good one. Yeah, I know. But what I would be best at is probably a Tanya Tucker tribute.
Nice.
I think I can nail that. But
We did mention
yeah.
the name before the show, the name of your van. This is the last rapid fire question, but could you tell us the name of your band van?
Yeah, it's parked right out there. Her name's Vanya Tucker. And she's a 2014 E350 XLT 15 passenger 5.4 liter engine van. And she pulls it's parked in my driveway too. She pulls a 8 by 6 foot trailer, double axle trailer named Tom T. Hall, Haul. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Vanya gets a lot of attention.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an expert on these things, but I feel like that should get some attention on TikTok.
I need to make Vanya her own TikTok is what I should do.
Yeah. Or at least a story or two for sure.
I will.
So, all right, Soul Gravy, the big question.
I don't want to mess this up.
No,
Hold on,
okay.
we got a warm up
Okay.
question before that.
Okay.
Well, you may have already answered with the Opry talk, but who have you in your time in music, have you had these moments where you have been around somebody or in a certain moment where you're like, holy shit, that's. But was it the Opry moment, or have you had another one of those where you just couldn't believe you were kind of where you were at?
Yeah, some of them are big and some of them are small
That's okay.
but significant.
Mhm.
Like meeting Connie and she sang our favorite song that we cover. Like that was a personal, like, whoa, I'm somewhere. But then small ones that I kind of shake my head at, like, wait, what? Is like at Steamboat this year. I was just walking around the corner and Hayes comes out of the that's Carl if you're lonely,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Hayes Carl comes out of the elevator and he's like, "Hey Summer, congratulations on the Opry." And I'm like, okay, I know that we know each other, like, I know that we know each other, but like, so we're friends, and then like Max and Heather stalling, just hanging out and then texting me, and I'm like, and they were like, "Oh, your show was so great." And I'm like, "You're Max and Heather Stalling." I just kept looking at them like, whoa. Like I'm finding myself in situations and I'm like, it's just weird.
You've been accepted into the club.
Oh, I never will feel accepted into it. Like I just
Understood.
can't ever think of myself on that level.
Understood.
I respect all these people so much. I mean, I'll stand on my songs and stuff, but like, it's just crazy to think that they think I'm one of them. Like I think that's what it is.
You are. Yeah.
Oh, it's just weird. It's weird.
I bet so. I bet it is. Okay. Well, speaking of weird,
Not weird.
nice segue. This started as a joke on episode number 1, and now it is a requirement that we ask this question. So, Summer,
Okay.
what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
I like the chocolate cupcakes with those swirls on top.
That's Hostess.
That's
there.
Hostess. Oh, Little Debbie.
Sorry.
Did Little Debbie? I love a pecan cream pie. Is that her? Like, no, not pecan. Oatmeal cream pie.
There you go. That's it. That's the winner
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Is that Little
Yeah.
Debbie? Yeah, I remember I used to lick it like I would turn it up like a tire and lick it this way. You know?
Understood. What
Perfect.
makes the wheels
Have
go
y'all
around
had-
on the road? You know, you
Have y'all
got to
had the
entertain
Little
yourself.
Debbie, oatmeal cream pie bluebell ice cream flavor?
I haven't, but we've spent time talking about it. Somebody that we had on the show, I think it might have been Kanan, but I can't remember. Somebody we had on the show was like, "Hey, bro, do you know about the Bluebell?" And I'm like, "Because that's oatmeal cream pie is mine too."
Oh yeah, great.
We're not allowed to have those in my house just because I do enjoy those.
Keep that away. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Hey, there's an ice cream," and I'm like, "What?" So
Yeah,
no, I haven't
our
had
producer and a still player, Kevin Skurla, he's a big Bluebell fan,
Yeah,
and
nice.
he's always telling us the brand new flavor. We always go get it. You know, we always go get it and share it. And we, there
Test
was
it.
the breakfast cereal one. We were all like, but the oatmeal cream, and they had like the Dr. Pepper Coke float now and
Yep.
all that. Which I'm more of a Coke than Dr. Pepper. That's not very Texan of me, but
That
I'm
is not very
I'm more of a Coca-Cola than Dr. Pepper.
That's
But
They're
but
both
yeah, the
delicious.
oatmeal cream pie. That would be it. I'm sorry I said Hostess and not Little Debbie.
No, it's all right. You did good. You did good.
Okay.
We got
It's
there.
okay. Vanya Tucker needs a sponsorship of Bluebell ice cream.
That's
and,
right. There we go.
Texas, Tennessee needs a
Bro.
little
Yeah,
little Debbie.
I have thought about writing a jingle for him. The blue. That was such a simpler time and place. Like writing another one of those, but about eating Bluebell on the road
Oh yeah.
and how it just makes you feel like you're home, but even though you're far away.
That song
Ah.
specifically reminds me. Oh yeah, that song reminds me of like a old Kevin. Is it Kevin Ball that used to have those?
David
kinda-
Ball?
David Ball. Sorry, yeah, David Ball. Like
Yeah.
Oh, like the riding with Private Malone.
yeah,
and-
like the guy whose voice does the Bluebell. I've always thought was probably David Ball. It's not, but he, whatever, similar.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've probably worn it out at this point. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Summer, for taking time to chat with us. Y'all
Thank you.
go follow Summer. Make sure you pre-save her stuff. It's important, and we appreciate y'all being here. So take care. Thanks, Summer.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.